Welcome to ITD In Motion. I'm Jennifer Gonzalez. It's been said in the transportation business that there are two seasons, winter and construction. Today we highlight efficient business practices and construction methods as part of 3 projects that aren't just meeting our mission of safety, mobility, and economic opportunity, but exceeding it. When a harsh winter caused the pavement to deteriorate more quickly than anticipated on Interstate 84 between Nampa and Caldwell, District 3 moved quickly to assemble a plan to repair it with the least amount of impacts to the traveling public. In fact, with the help from District 5, the entire repaving project was designed in a matter of weeks.
We worked closely with District 5 Design and put it together as a team. So we had District 5 put together the plans, and we worked on most of the specifications in the district.
Multiple factors tied to safety and mobility were considered and implemented as part of this project, specifically the use of weekend crossovers.
We used weekend crossovers to complete the work, which is where all of the traffic is moved to one side of the interstate just for the weekend, which then frees up the other side of the interstate for the construction work.
Work was executed over the course of 4 weekends in June and July. Critical to the success of this extensive repaving work was a very detailed communication effort with leaders, stakeholders, communities, and the traveling public so they had the information they needed ahead of all scheduled work.
Our communication team came up with maps that were easy to understand, showed the work zone, showed where the traffic was going to be, which ramps were going to be closed, which ramps would be open. I think it was very well put together.
Due to its size, scope, and expedited timeline, ITD worked closely with the Idaho Associated General Contractors and the contracting community early on to help determine how repaving could successfully occur with the least impact to travelers.
You know, when the bid package first came out and they saw that it was going to be over 4 weekends and concentrated time, there were some people that didn't think it could be done. Luckily, there are plenty of contractors here in Idaho that were up to the challenge, and they worked with ITD to work out a reasonable schedule and to get it done. In fact, it got done early. We like to see those type of things. Yes, it was ambitious, but it wasn't out of the world. It wasn't anything that couldn't be done. It just took a lot of creative thinking, some interesting engineering, and some commitment.
In southeast Idaho, a major overhaul of I-15 includes a series of resurfacing projects and bridge rehabilitations. District 5 project manager Scott Redding explains why ITD and its contractor are using hydro-demolition as a method of extending the life of multiple bridge decks across the corridor.
Well, the advantage of using the hydro-demolition method rather than using a jackhammer is the hydro-demolition machine uses high water pressure to evenly take off the top 1 to 3 inches of concrete. If a jackhammer were to do it, it would be that individual's pressure and attitude at where he's hammering, and it would be very uneven, and we wouldn't get a nice clean path across the deck. The hydroblaster uses about 20,000 psi and then adjusts its speed as it goes across the deck. That way it monitors how deep it's going to keep it nice and even and clean versus a single pick or a hammer.
At least 10 bridges will be rehabbed this year between Pocatello and Ingham. The benefit of this construction method, twofold.
So the bridges and the structures that were designed for a 50-year design life, we're about 60 years old now. So we can be a little more proactive and do some maintenance on it with this hydro demo and get a new deck on the top, seal up the bridge from top to bottom, and get another 20 plus years out of it by just being more proactive and doing the hydro demo process.
From construction practices to community outreach in District 1. In an effort to actively engage with stakeholders in and around Coeur d'Alene ahead of a busy construction season, the District 1 project staff and Office of Communication launched a communication strategy to keep everyone looped in and moving through a number of work zones across the region.
When you're working on a road, you can't have the traffic on it at the time that we're working, but we look for ways to minimize the impacts and educate the public to know what routes are going to be impacted and what where they might be able to go, give them the heads up so that they can choose alternate routes.
How do we get folks to our Kootenai clinics just across the street? How do we get folks to our main hospital? How do we get people places? It's a huge, huge thing for us. It's a huge component. You can't get care if you can't find care. And we really think that the road and traffic functions and improvements make this facility work. and we make it work for the residents of North Idaho. So that's what I'm excited about.
The improvements to this area it's going to really reduce the traffic congestion. We're going to have more lanes on some of these roads that we're working on, and it's really going to ease things for the public. So in the end, it's going to be worth all the growing pains that we're going through right now, but we just ask that everyone bear with us through this construction season, and you'll see improvements in the end.
As these 3 projects demonstrate, ITD remains focused on our customers.
The more information we share with the public and with the community, the better off we're going to be. By having information out there, by doing radio and TV spots and the web page and all the information they did, ITD made it real easy for everyone in the valley to know what was going on.
Until next time, I'm Jennifer Gonzalez for ITD In Motion.